Hi, Election Day is only a few days away, November 7th. And I learned something that I found rather startling in the last week. You are able to go to the finance reporting website with the state for election expenditures and donations. And here in Monroe County, one individual has donated $106,000 to the Democrat candidates and the young Monroe County Democrat group. And that's an astounding amount of money for one individual to put into a local election. So why is it done? It's done for the influence, to influence the voters in Monroe County. And I thought about this and I thought, boy, that one individual spent over $100,000 to influence. Yet he has no more influence and no more ability to affect an election than I do. Because he has one vote, so do I, and each of you has one vote. So no matter how much money is spent, informed electorate can vote for the best people. And that's what I would like to talk about today. I'd like to talk about our candidates, because on the Democrat campaign, we're looking at an enormous amount of money going into ads and signs, TV, radio, media, promoting for our county candidates that are basically underqualified or unqualified. So our candidates truly deserve your close look before you finalize your vote. Running for commissioners in Monroe County on the Republican ticket are Christine Wilkins and David Parker, whose names I'm sure are familiar with you because they have served and worked in this county for many years. David Parker, in fact, has legislative experience as he was a state rep for a period of time in one of the districts here in Monroe County. Christine Wilkins has been an elected supervisor, and through that capacity has worked with throughout the townships and municipalities here in Monroe County with leadership. And she has shown herself to be a leader in that capacity, building a knowledge and network that will serve our county very well. In addition, she has a thriving real estate business, so her understanding of the issues of housing in our county are very broad and comprehensive. At the same time, David Parker, in addition to his legislative experience, has management skills, leadership skills, and a sense of fiscal responsibility and a deep understanding of the tax structure, both locally and at the state level. Their knowledge and experience will serve us very well. Now, the other campaigns I wish to talk about are the candidates for the elected county administration offices, commonly referred to as the row offices. And I urge you to consider we need to re-elect this dedicated group and not be swayed by misleading ads. So let's go through a few of these people's backgrounds. Marla Marriage has been controller here in Monroe County for 23 years. She actually has 30 years of experience as an accountant and 30 years experiencing in auditing, which of course is what the job of county controller entails. She has her own office, her own work is audited each year, and she always has a clean audit and has been recognized as commendable for her level of fiscal work in the county. Basically, the role of controller is that of a watchdog of county spending. She has to look at what's spent, balance those books, and determine that the spending fits the approved budget. So Marlo's job is very complex, yet her opponent has no experience that would prepare him to take on what is basically an accounting job overseeing multi-million-dollar budget. Basically, he's worked in family retail and has organized pride events. So in that light, he has no experience in accounting, and it is so necessary to have that knowledge to be county controller. Marlo is dedicated, enthusiastic, and loves her job and loves this community. The next position is being running for re-election as Register of Wills and Recorder of Deeds, and that's Josephine Farrow. Josephine's work in this office has been remarkable, actually. And she runs an office so efficiently that the county does not have to pay additional budgetary lines for her office. In other words, the work of the office pays for the office and its needs. Additionally, she has recently benefited everyone here in Monroe County. You may have seen those ads on television or wherever saying, protect your deed from fraud. Somebody could come in and fraudulently register your deed and take your property out from under you. And it costs money to buy this service. Josephine has established an alert system free to every property owner here in Monroe County that will do just that. If there are any changes to your deed on your property, you will immediately be notified and can address this. And if it's fraudulent, you deal with it. Or it may be something you yourself are doing, such as getting a home loan, but at any rate, you will be immediately notified of any change of status of your property. Josephine has completely modernized that office. The county records have been digitalized and now they're on a searchable database, which makes it easier for everyone to come in and take advantage of the help available in that office. So Josephine certainly deserves your vote. Her opponent, on the other hand, in her ad, put forth that she would defend democracy. I haven't seen that in the job description of Register of Wills and Recorder of Deeds, but if you want to defend democracy, then perhaps you might want to sign on for one of the armed services. But at any rate, we need Josephine to continue to do the job that she's been doing in our county. George Warden is the Prothonotary and Clerk of Courts, a complicated job in which he has to devote many hours outside the usual schedule of the courthouse because, long days, making sure the records are done in a timely fashion, that the judges and the courts receive the records as soon as they need them. He's on top of that job. And also, he and his staff have worked to remove the paper load by recording or copying digitally the existing trove of records that goes back decades and decades. So this is a time-consuming process, and it's well underway under his guardianship. And he also is responsible for managing the court schedule, the court records, which, of course, as our county has grown, the job has grown. George has grown with the job, and it would be foolish to put someone in there who doesn't have experience in the court system or the legal aspects of what records are required. A businessman who just has none of that experience is running against George. Okay, now I'm going to do a separate video with regard to the race for the sheriff, because that one it needs additional discussion, and I will be doing that. But right now, my point is, we can continue to move forward under the leadership that we have and have that leadership enhanced by adding 2 remarkable individuals as commissioners at the head of the leadership in the county. Let's not disrupt the work of this county by electing underqualified or unqualified candidates to these offices in which the work is complex, requires experience and knowledge that these people simply don't have. Our people have been doing this job, doing it well, modernizing, updating, and serving Monroe County in excellence. Let's vote for Marlo Marriage, Josephine Farrell, George Warden, Christine Wilkins, and David Parker. Join me in making sure your vote counts and that money can't control the election here in Monroe County. So here's a picture of our candidates, and maybe you've received this door hanger. And please go to the candidates' websites or Facebook pages and get all the information that you need. You can also go to the Monroe County Republican Committee website and the Monroe Council of Republican Women's website to gain additional information. November 7th, thank you for voting.